Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you are new on this channel, you are welcome, and to my returning subscribers, welcome back guys. Welcome to my space. It's nice to have you here. Today I just want to chat with you guys about what I have learned living abroad. As some of you know, I live in London and I'm a South African. I've been living here for about 4 years now, so I do want to share what I have learned just living abroad, because I've never lived abroad before moving here. I've lived in different cities, so yeah, I just want to share what I have learned just living in a different city. Yeah, let me share my story. So the first thing I want to touch on is corporate culture. The work environment here is totally different than what I know or where I come from. Living abroad and being a corporate girl is totally different than what I think I knew based on where I come from. So, what I have come to learn is that there is a culture of self promoting. So, what I mean by self promoting, where I come from, it was mostly, I'm not saying here it's not, but it was so important for your line manager to like you, in order for you to move from one one level to another level. It was so important for you to be likable, to be humble, be good at what you do at the same time. Whereas here, there's a culture of self-promoting. People have the ability to claim recognition even for the most simple tasks. I think that's one of the things that I have learned, is that if you want to move here or you want to grow in your career, you have to be able to self promote. You have to be able to put yourself out there and sort of I don't know, sort of be a sponsor for yourself in a way. Mention the things that you're working on and mention how challenging they are, and how you are able to overcome these challenges and deliver what is in a way expect from you anyway. But it is important for you to put yourself out there and not to sort of and feel like this is what I have to do anyway, this is my job, these are my responsibility, I don't have to like claim recognition for it anyway. So yeah, that's one of the things that I have learned. And this is completely, this for me, I'm saying is something that I have learned mainly because where I come from, it's important to be humble. We are taught that it's important to stay humble, even if you are best at what you do. If you do great, you achieve this and that, you still need to stay humble. You need to be, people need to relate to you. You need to be, in order for people to associate with you. The next topic that I want to touch on is the importance of community. I think this is probably a topic that I have spoken about on my previous videos, even if it wasn't sort of like a full video or in depth, but I do touch on community, or how hard it is to live abroad without having your loved ones and so on. So, what I have come to learn about community, especially living in a different country, is that you have to create your own community. When you are born somewhere, and your family is there, and you grow up here, when you are growing up, you meet friends, they become your friends. Some you meet them at school, tertiary, and everything just happen organically. You just community just gets formed around you without you having to try harder. Well, it is totally different when you live in a different country. You have to work harder to create a community for yourself. You have to move out of your comfort zone, reach out to people, sort of maintain relationships, maintain connecting with people, just so you can build a community for you. And I think one of the things that I have realized, or I have come to learn, is that it's hard, because then it's not like there's a pool of people that you can relate to. Whereas if you're in a country where people speak the same language as you, there's so many people that come from the same town as you, it's easy to connect with people. Whereas if you move into a different country, it's limited. You just have like a few people that you will get to meet here, and then you have to try harder to maintain a relationship and find things that you find common about each other, and just like stick and hold on to those things, so you don't really it doesn't really happen organically here. You just have to move out of your comfort zone. And sometimes I feel like if you are a person who's an introvert, it's even harder, because friendships, relationships aren't going to just come to your house. You have to go out there and build them. So a sense of community is totally one of those things I think is something that I have learned a lot about. Just living in a different country, I have come to appreciate my family. I have come to appreciate just simple things like walking into a shop and bumping into someone you know, or bumping into someone that knows your family, or knows someone from back where you come from. So things like that. Here, the chances of you there's zero chances of you bumping into someone you know. So it really is important for you to sort of move out of your comfort zone and build relationships, and that leaves a room, or it opens a space for you to try and connect with people from different, different walks of life, if I can put it that way. The next thing that I want to touch on is tourism, or rather history. Firstly, it is summer in London, or summer in Europe right now. So I have been doing a little bit of traveling around Europe. And I think what I have realized is that some countries have done a great job in just to archive their history and make sure that it benefits, their country. And as a person who comes from a country that has so much rich history, I think I have come to realize or learn that we don't really archive our history as South Africa as we should. We really have like a rich history, but it's really not archived in a way that it can benefit our people at the end of the day. For example, here in London, in each and every town you go to, like there's museums everywhere. Every town you go to, you find a museum, or sort of a structure that is based on 1950 something, or this person was here at this stage and this is what happened. And as I do know, we do have like historical buildings or historical museums, but I don't think we have enough based on the history that we have as South Africa, as just the country. I think there's much that could be done to make sure that our history is archived properly, and also that it is showcased in a way that it benefits I don't know, but just the showcasing of our history, and making sure that we sort of like make a living out of it. For example, you go into a museum, it's like 25 pounds to enter the museum. That's like 500 rands. And if you are a tourist, you will pay that because you want to learn about a country, and that's pretty much the best way to learn about a country, is just going to the museum. And I just I think, especially now, because I've been traveling a lot lately, I've just been thinking to myself, how great would it be if South Africa did the same thing? If we we showcased our history the same way other countries are doing, and made sure that we benefit from it, because people come to South Africa to see the landscapes, to learn about the culture, but it's just like there's more There's more than the beautiful landscapes that we have. There's more than Cape Town. Because when you speak to people, most of the time, people are just always looking forward to go to Cape Town. And sometimes I feel like, there's more in South Africa than just going to Cape Town. So yeah, I think that's one of the things, especially currently, that's one of the things that I have currently just been thinking about. So the next thing is, we as humans all over the world, we are the same. What do I mean by that? When you are sold the dream to go live abroad, it it can be sold as life-changing, or as if you're going to a place where, you know, everybody's just happy, everybody's just living their lives, everybody's just successful. Well, let me break it to you. That's not the case. That's not the case in personal lives. That's not the case in just socially. That's not the case in terms of government as well. It's not the case. What I have come to learn is that as human, we are all the same. And most importantly, we are all going through the same problems. Right now, there's a student somewhere in Asia, a student somewhere in Africa, and a student somewhere in Europe, in America, worried about how they are going to pay for their tertiary fees, for their university fees, whatever you call it, college fees, college fees. Someone out there in the world, in a different country, in the country that you are, in the country that you dream of going to live in, there's someone who's worried about what are they going to feed their children. There's someone who's worried that the bank is going to come and, you know, their car or their furniture or their house or their home. So it's important that we understand that even though there might be more or better opportunities abroad, it's not, you're not going into a country, or you're not going into a city where there aren't problems. People aren't happy with government everywhere in the world. People aren't happy with inflation everywhere in the world, you know. So there isn't a better place to be. It's just that maybe some countries have more opportunities. There's no lack of opportunities or lack of jobs, or but you will always find that in everywhere around the world, someone is struggling with something. Someone is happy. There's someone who's super rich. Here where I am, there's someone who's super rich. Somewhere in Africa, there's someone who's super rich. Somewhere in Asia, someone, you know, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes the media can portray some countries as the best thing to ever happen to the world, and that they don't have problems. It's important for us as humans to understand that we are all the same as humans. We have the same problems. We, you know, if there are successful people in this part of the world, that doesn't necessarily mean there aren't successful people on the other side of the world. So yeah, I think that's, and also once you get to speak to people on a personal level, who come from different countries than where you come from, you realize even the way sometimes we are brought up is similar. You know, the values and sort of like the struggles that we've gone through, our lives can be similar. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that I've learned, is that as humans we are the same.